Hey guys, Dantix here. Dragon Age The Veilguard was just revealed and we received around 15 minutes of gameplay right from the opening act. I wouldn't say I'm completely sold just yet, but what we saw is a damn sight better than the trailer. I'm actually looking forward to seeing more and getting my hands on it. It has the makings of a great RPG and at the very least, a continuation of the storyline. So in this video, I'll break down everything of note we saw or didn't see in the 15-minute demo. It seems after a character creator and some cinematics, you'll end up here in Minrathous. Let me address the elephant in the room. Yes, the characters do look closer to Fable's art style than the more photorealism of other games, but Dragon Age has always been a little bit stylized. They definitely have leaned more into it though, however there's no denying that the environments look quite good. Now that I address that, let's focus on what was shown. First, this opening seems very much like Inquisition, a path to a set piece that sets the tone for the entire game. That is further underlined by the quest name, The End of the Beginning. Here we see our custom character. Sadly, we didn't get a look at the character creator, but I'm sure we'd need hours for that. We will, at the very least, be choosing how our character looks, what their backstory is, and their class. Their backstory comes up a few times in dialogue throughout the demo, so it will notably matter in dialogue, and if it's like the other titles, it'll offer you different choices. As a level 1 rogue, you shouldn't expect to see many skills, but Michael Gamble revealed that there is a ton of skills as well as combos between them. It seems you can have 3 skills equipped on the ability wheel for Rook, your character, and the 2 companions that you've taken with you can have 3 equipped, but their bottom ones seem to be heals at this point. It was confirmed that there are a ton more actual skills you can use, but we'll be talking more about combat soon. You're on your way to try to convince Solus not to tear down the veil, the barrier separating the world from an endless stream of demons, so this title picks up at the end of Inquisition's DLC. Here we see a pretty girl being stopped by the authorities, so yes, they can actually make pretty girls, and no, you won't be able to romance her. You can romance every single one of your companions, and I feel as though the options in this game are definitely not made for me. Not many games are these days, but that's fine as I'll be playing this for the story and the gameplay, so let's continue. Varric wanted to continue as well, however a tear in the Fade pops open, meaning Solus has already started the ritual. If you think about it, this could also have been the final act of the game, rushing to stop Solus after chasing him down across Thedas. Instead, we get something unexpected. Rook and Varric start running, and we see our first demons. They could be rage demons, even though those typically look like fire elementals. The party is stopped by another demon, but it's attacked by the same authorities, letting you proceed to hiding.
And the whole world is going to look a lot like this.
For those who don't know, she was a scout in Inquisition who would report to you on locations as you arrive. It seems in this game she'll be a fully fledged companion, meaning that Varric might not be, as she'll take the role of ranged dwarf. Also well, you'll see soon. Now we have the first example of a dialogue option. It's exactly the same as Inquisition. The left option is to expand on a topic and ask for further information. The top right is positive, or what I like to call a paragon option, and the bottom is more direct, or a more renegade option. The icon in the middle will better inform the tone of your responses, so keep an eye on it. We didn't see any relationship changes here, but we will later on. It's a Dragon Age game, so you have to expect this will be a major part of it. You pick up your weapons, which will be different based on your class. When asked where Dumat Plaza is, Harding brings up your background choice, Shadow Dragon.
The bar owner said the Venatori took Nev to Dumont Plaza. Can you get us there, Harding?
Rook, you're with the Shadow Dragons. I figured you'd know Minrathous better than I do.
Sure, but Minrathous is huge, and this is nowhere near my neighborhood. I can try.
Since that background is a Minrathous local, she thought you'd know your way around town. Before you can proceed, you're attacked. The UI is fairly simple. You have your HP bar at the bottom left with 5 pips. You have a maximum of 3 health potions that you can carry right now, and to heal you use the right D-pad. You also have 3 skills on the face buttons, however as you're level 1, you don't have any of your abilities just yet. You'll get one a bit later on because this functions as a tutorial. The rogue also has a natural ability to switch to the bow, which isn't on the face buttons. Immediately you'll notice that the combat is more movement based. It's always been real time, but now it's definitely more action. It still retains that feel of Inquisition though. Now as a rogue, you'll be blade dancing around with your basic attacks. Yes, these are all basic attacks and dodges. Your strikes hit in an AoE, letting you damage multiple demons and even some pottery. The pottery gives you a small amount of gold as a nice little bonus. Rook starts taking hits, so it won't be as easy as just spamming your basic attack over and over. He dodges back and uses the bow. It doesn't do too much damage because it wasn't a direct hit on a weak point. But also keep in mind, this is the first level. It has 8 ammo, and after a shot, a bar slowly fills, which stocks it back up without needing to find ammo in the world. When dodging out of the way of an attack, Rook shadow steps. This may be because he hit dodge when he got the spider sense-like mark over his head, which indicates an incoming attack. This once again is just the basic dodge. So far we've seen hints of 3 class specialties, a more classic rogue, an archer, and a more magical hybrid. The rogue won't just be a rogue forever. As you're attacking the demons, you'll see your companions helping out as well. They're ranged characters and don't have their skills yet, so don't expect to see anything flashy. It seems you can also hold your attack to do a charged or heavy blow. This time using the bow, you fire at the head of a new demon and it does quite a bit of damage, almost half its HP. A lot more than the basic strike from your blade, so it seems hitting weak points is what the bow is there for. Here we see Rook flash for a second, then get off a more powerful attack, where he thrust jumps upwards, then slashes down, both dealing more damage, so this might also be a heavy attack you can charge, but without tooltips we can't tell just yet. Combat is over and you get a little experience, very little. You also don't seem to get any loot, a common theme throughout the demo. It might be disabled as to make the game look prettier or not to show off parts that the developers don't want to show yet. Or maybe these guys simply don't drop anything, it is the tutorial area after all. I thought it was cool seeing the rats all fleeing away from something, but it does point your eyes to the green vase. So you use your potion to restore 2 pips of health, then break the ceramic to get the potion back. As you travel to Dumat Plaza, you see the city continuing on without you, holding back the demons in the tears or fleeing. I have no idea why we're attacking Venatori cultists while fleeing from the world-ending demons, but we are. They're a lot squishier than the demons, but they have powerful ranged attacks, as you'd expect, but it seems that if you time your block just right, you can deflect the spell right back at them. It's not that hard to dispatch them actually, but you have to do it as your way is barred by a barrier, and then you need to destroy it.
Looks like the Venatori put up a barrier to block the way. More intruders!
So mages are quite easy to kill in melee like you'd expect, but especially so in this game at this level because attacking them staggers. They can't cast at all while staggered. Once again, dispatching the group only yields 10 experience. I have a feeling they drastically tuned this down so you don't level up during the demo, as it might be part of the game they don't want to reveal yet. Usually in these games you level up at least once before the big fight, but you do heal up again, consuming a potion. You slide down the next part of the map, so perhaps there's more interactive platforming parts of the game since it's designed to be more movement based than the others. However, in the next Venatori fight, you see your skill slots appear. You have an ability on square now, as well as a bar below it. The bar has 2 pips with 1 already consumed. Here we see the ability wheel. In every game before it, you could pause the action and assess the situation. It's no different here. Except on console at least, you have easy access to your abilities. You can change targets with the right stick, you can navigate the menu with the left, and select with X. You can also assess the target. These are Venatori soldiers. The skill we have at level 1 yet again emphasizes that rogues can develop into a magical hybrid class. Static Strikes fires 2 bolts each, dealing seemingly either 121 lightning damage each or 60.5 each depending on how the tooltip wants to display 2 bolts striking a target. It also applies the weakened state, meaning they won't be hitting as hard after being struck by this skill. Also, as we saw before, it's very likely that there are abilities that use or detonate the weakened effect. As we saw before, Fade Bolts detonate the Sundered effect. When you have an opportunity for a combo, the ability wheel will highlight it as a combo opportunity. Also, we haven't unlocked it yet, but at the top will be ways to command your companions to attack. The ability costs 1 of the pink orbs, which represent a single pip. So, for example, 2 orbs will be 2 pips. Meaning that with full mana, or whatever this bar represents, we can cast the ability twice. You'll also see that, like I mentioned, using the bow doesn't take up an ability slot, it just functions as a sort of weapon swap. So we can cast Static Strike, and it does a lot of damage to the target, almost taking it out. If you slow it down, you can see that it very much is a rogue skill, as he uses both blades to cast it. Maybe your background influences your starting class skill. Rook easily takes out the target while dodging the other. He lines up a bow shot, but at the last second, lets go of the thumbstick and completely misses. More Venatori soldiers attack. Take a look at your mana bar, it fills as you deal damage. So as the rogue at least, you'll be casting more as you deal damage, even though the only ability you have right now has a very short cooldown. You'll then see one of the Venatori getting struck by a magical blast that's been raining down on the area. It sends him flying, and contact with the environment deals extra damage to him. You dispatch the next set of enemies, all the while your companions are providing a little extra ranged chip damage and a distraction.
Venatori, take your revenge!
The Venatori cult mages now attack, and you take a hit. You then try your hand at showing them how spells are done. It almost one-shots the mage, and a cool lightning slash attack happens on the ground this time as the target was a lot further away. You heal up and take another potion from the environment. It's 30 experience this time, but you're still nowhere near leveling. You investigate the ice, and it magically parts to reveal your second companion, Knave. She's an ice-focused mage and a private investigator. She's your human female romance option, and before you hit the comments, I know, I really do. So before you get introduced to her, she was playing captured by her attackers, but once the sky started raining demons, she's back on the job. Once again, your background of being a shadow dragon is mentioned, as you've done work for both of them.
This is Nev Gallus, our local expert. She's gonna help us find Solus. Nev, meet Rook. Both of you have done some work for the Shadow Dragons.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Some old friend said if I was working in Tevinter, the Shadow Dragons are worth trusting.
But there's no physical reward for it just yet. Now we have 3 dialogue options with a sarcastic or clowny style response in the middle. Rook opts for the renegade option again, which cuts the small talk. She reveals where she suspects Solus to be. The footage cuts. The team discovers Solus's hideout and an Alluvian gate, the portal he's used to escape the city of Minrathous. I'm sure this was cut to spare us some time or to save us from some spoilers. You walk through the gate and find yourself far from Minrathous, in Arlathon Forest. You see the ritual in the background 223 meters away. First though, you're attacked by demons. One of them seems to have a shield, whereas the others have basic armor. You see Nev in the background casting ice basic attacks, and when she dodges, she uses an icy wind to propel her. A cool effect. You use your bow to finish the demons and continue on. Another cutaway. Your team battles their way deeper into Arlathon Forest until they arrive at Solus's ritual site. It's there you're attacked by a Pride Demon. This really has Inquisition deja vu, except this time the Pride Demon looks very different. It has armor and shields protecting its health. He can teleport, which unfortunately happens right when Rook casts his ability. The Pride Demon functions as a pseudo boss fight, where it summons area denial lightning spells and lightning AoE attacks. It knocks you to the ground with its attacks, but if you're fast enough, you can quick recover with the circle button. You break its shields and start working on its armor. Keep in mind that it seems different abilities are more or less effective against health, shields, and armor. You'll notice a lot more dodging, some potion uses, and a lot more bow attacks from Rook to survive this fight.
Through the veil.
It's a Pride Demon. Damn thing probably sensed Solus's ego.
In the end, Rook uses static strikes to finish off the demon, though a smart player would have made sure the weakened effect stayed on the thing most of the fight instead of wasting mana by not casting it at full bars. The demon is dispatched and yields no experience. It has to be turned off for the demo, right? You make it to Solus, but there's still a stream of demons attacking. Varric thinks he can talk Solus down, even though in Inquisition, if your main character had a great relationship with him, you still couldn't talk him down.
Solus isn't gonna stop just because an old friend asks nicely.
Solus needs someone to sell him another option, to help him justify changing his mind.
You can choose to say this is a mistake, or you can choose to say do it. You'll notice that this isn't a regular conversational option. It has different pathways as the icon, which represents this choice will have a bigger impact on the game than your regular ones. In this case, Neve disapproves and Harding approves, so you can't keep everyone happy with your stance. Keep in mind, Varric's approval doesn't change, further emphasizing he either doesn't function like a companion in this game, rather an advisor, or he dies. Varric walks over to Solus, who's an ancient god if you're wondering why you all just don't attack. He could kill you all with literally a blink.
Rook, take care of the team for me. Hey, Chuckles. Hope I'm not interrupting.
So while Varric is talking to Solus, you have to keep the demons off him. It's a standard fight with nothing out of the ordinary.
I hope Varric is getting through to Solus.
We better talk fast. We can't hold these demons off forever.
It cuts back to Solus and Varric. It seems there's very little you can do to convince him otherwise at this point.
Is a wound inflicted upon this world. It must be healed.
By drowning the world in demons?
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varric.
Minimize the... People are dying right now. You need to listen. Please.
And poor Bianca pays the price. Oh no. It seems diplomacy has failed.
People are always dying. It is what they do.
Instead, you suggest bringing down the statues to disrupt the ritual.
What if we disrupt the ritual?
How?
See those statues? If we break the scaffolding holding that one up, the whole thing will come down on Solus.
It's risky. Interrupting a ritual of this scale will have consequences.
And what about the demons? Varric needs us to hold them off.
Right, you two stay here. I'll bring down the statue.
What? No. Stepping into all that raw magic is suicide.
Scout Harding suggests we bring someone with you and one stay behind to defend against the demons. I waited so long in this video to call her Ashley Williams. I figured the point where you need to leave her behind was the right timing.
And what about the demons? Varric needs us to hold them off. And what about the demons? Varric needs us to hold them off.
So you have to choose to take one of them with you. Whoever you bring greatly approves of your choice, but frankly, I think if this was a real situation, it would be wise to leave behind the strongest to hold the demons off alone. Maybe that's why they like coming with you so they're not in danger, I don't know. You won't need much help taking down the statues, but anyway you take Harding. So you're making your way to it as Varric is talking down the Dreadwolf. You weaken the pillars and it cuts back to Varric and Solus. It does seem like he is very convinced this is the only way.
Why? Why tear down the veil? Knowing all the lives it'll cost.
We shared a journey years ago. Do you believe that I would do this if there was some other better option? You came a long way and made a valiant effort, Varric, but this story does not end with my downfall.
Perhaps we were wrong to stop him. However, it's too late and the pillars come down. Solus is able to deflect the damage, but the ritual is stopped. The tear is now a lot bigger and shadowy figures appear out of it, with the Dreadwolf noticeably concerned. You wonder why the name was changed from Dreadwolf to the Veilguard? Well, this might be the reason. It seems either Solas gets killed here or pushed aside to no longer be the primary concern. It was confirmed that there will be other godlike figures to contend with, so these could be it. The footage ends there. It seems just like an Inquisition, the Veilguard starts with a bang. Your whole journey led to that moment and now it's here. I hope they don't kill off Solas here, as it would be extremely anticlimactic. But I'm keen to see just what we're facing now and how exactly we guard the Veil. I'm not as disappointed with the combat shift as I thought I would be. It's essentially Inquisition with more movement-based upgrades. If you're not already sitting down, sit down for a second, because what's important in a game like this is the story and the choices. Those seem to be here, but we can't really know until we see more. Overall, I'm actually excited to see more. It's Dragon Age after all, and I've played the others to death. I would understand completely if anyone else is hesitant. That's why I'm here though. I'll be taking you through the game so you don't have to, and you don't have to purchase it. Doing this better informs your decision. So let me know below what you think, and for everything RPG, you're in the right place. Ciao friends.